When digging through some more material, I found video and pictures that I made late 2019, when I got the chance to travel the famous New Year's Day first class airfare, that's a mouthful, from Cathay Pacific. This airfare, which I was able to book during my first breakfast of 2019 from the restaurant of a hotel in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, brought me from Da Nang in Vietnam all the way to New York's JFK airport and back again. This is the first short video in some kind of documentary style of large parts of the trip I made. I had to position myself from Jakarta in Indonesia to Da Nang before I was able to enjoy this airfare, but that was something that could easily be overcome by using KrisFlyer points from Singapore Airlines that I had plenty of back then. So this trip starts at Jakarta's International Airport in the Plaza Premium Lounge. That has a more premium name than it really is for a lounge. But since regulations in Indonesia don't allow for foreign airlines to operate their own lounges, it's something you just have to live with, I guess. After some food, I would be in Singapore for about 10 hours, so better food was almost in reach, and the beer, it was time to board. I didn't show up hours before departure here, as I was sure this bad lounge would be compensated later during my trip. The first flight was a short hop in business class with Singapore Airlines, to Singapore indeed. Knowing Singapore Airlines, I got the service you would expect from them, even on this flight that is listed as 1.5 hours, but normally takes just over an hour. It's obviously not the newest business class offering, even in 2019, but once again it's just a short hop and the so-called soft product was otherwise very good. In between me making short videos, I was served a glass of champagne and a little snack. And the full meal was served as soon as we reached cruising altitude. Since I used KrisFlyer miles with Singapore Airlines, the Silk Air, this wasn't a direct flight to Da Nang. I had a stay of 10 hours in Singapore. I slept for about 7 of them before heading back to the Singapore Airlines Silver Kris Lounge in Terminal 3. I had some time for a nice breakfast before departure of my second short but slightly longer flight that would last just less than 3 hours. When it was time to board the plane, I made sure I wasn't one of the first to board as there was no hurry. And the airport here is almost like a theme park if you ask me. Always something to see when you walk into your gate. And once in seat 1A of Silk Air MI632, I was off alcohol, but that was a little early as I couldn't pretend a jet lag from just 1 hour of time difference, followed by a good but somewhat short sleep. So orange juice it was. However, Silk Air is a daughter airline of Singapore Airlines. They are the more regional carrier. Or were by now, as Silk Air is currently being merged into Singapore Airlines. But in August 2019, this was the regional business class product offered. Not bad, of course. Outside of the iPad that I didn't really use, we also received a blanket and pillow. There's more, but we had to depart first. So here's the shaky time lapse of that, so I don't have to bother you with all of it. I do like those departures and landings, especially on airports near water. The trip from Jakarta to Da Nang via Singapore in Singapore Airlines and Silk Air business class was paid for with KrisFlyer miles. Only 20,000 of them, and some taxes with a total of around 20 euro. And with views over Terminal 5 and the third one under construction, we say goodbye to Singapore. By the way, construction here was halted about 9 months later because of the pandemic. While we are climbing out of Singapore on our way to Da Nang, it's time to ask you to please consider subscribing if you didn't do that yet. Of course, that's only when you like these videos. If you like them more than this, you might also click the notification bell as well. YouTube will then probably inform you when I post a new video. A like is also very much appreciated and won't cost you anything. I found some earphones and had another look at the menu before I was served my breakfast. This would be the smallest table I would find on any plane during the entire trip. Oh, the luxury of flying proper first class. And after a very short nap, I guess I needed more sleep still, The landscape had changed very little. Still tropical rice paddies and patches of forest below us. Only now we were flying over Vietnam already. Soon rice paddies and green gave way for the concrete jungle of Da Nang city, with its airport right in the center. But before I could walk to my hotel, yes, I really did that after arrival, there was a slight wait called immigration. I didn't pre-purchase any expedited service for this, so I had to queue with all the other passengers from multiple planes arriving from abroad.
1 hour later.
This took over an hour, but once I got my page-sized multiple entry visa for Vietnam, I was at the hotel in less than 15 minutes. Time for some rest?